Monaco. A little Mr. Scary. So good morning, everyone. How are you? This is when you say, how are you, Eddie? I'm well, thank you. I rested well last night, got a lot of sleep. Looking forward to talking to you this morning. So on Sundays at the big events, I usually deliver a State of the Union, and today is no different. I am going to give you guys a State of the Union of WorldVentures, give you guys an idea of what's going on around the world, what's going on in your business today, and a sneak peek of the future, of course. But I also want to keep it a bit more informal, if that's okay with you. Today, I'd like to speak to you guys almost conversationally about the view of the future that we have. The vision that Wade has had since long before WorldVentures was to create the world's greatest travel club in the space of direct sales. But the reason that he was so enthusiastic about that was because he felt like the two of them were just such perfect complements. Remember yesterday when we were talking about the empowerment themes that permeate everything that we do within our culture, right? That even what we do with the foundation speaks to that. What we do with our opportunity speaks to that. The very culture that we embody as a people of WorldVentures is about that, empowering each other, lifting each other up, promoting one's success, personal development, and ascent. So all of those aspirational elements come together within the concept of WorldVentures in so many different ways. But today what we're doing is, it's kind of the state of the combination of his influence, your vision, the internal team's passion, and how that has evolved organically to create who we are today. I mean, quite literally, we are the product of ourselves. I don't know if that makes sense to you. Are you getting a sense of that? That we attract people that are like us, and as we become far more clear about where we want to take WorldVentures, it becomes greater and greater and greater, the product of that passion. We see more and more clearly how we can exploit technology to help us, how we can leverage the size of our hundreds of thousands and millions of customers beyond just the hundreds of thousands of reps and members to bring better experiences to our membership, to create the world's most compelling offering in the space. And so today, the way that I'd like to talk to you is about how what we're doing now is preparing for what we think we will be in the future, what we know we can accomplish together. And I'm hoping that it'll all come into focus a bit better in every conversation we have going forward. We've used some big terminology about the ecosystem, about how the platform that we're developing around our app is not just about technology, but it's about the community. And that's how I want to talk to you guys. But first, I do want to, of course, give you guys an update on the state of things at WorldVentures. So let's get started. Any minute. Okay, so I decided to show you guys a bit of a longer historical snapshot of where we came from. I think that this is relevant because recently I've really just shown the last 2 or 3 or 4 years on these slides, but I wanted to go a little further back so you had a sense of the way things were as we hit the peak of the impact of the worst recession in well, let's say the last, 3-4 generations, right? One that was globally impacting, one that in fact even affected our industry in a way that our industry is typically not affected. See, our industry is usually an industry, and when I say industry, I mean direct sales. Direct sales is usually an industry that thrives in a down economy. Why? Well, if it's not obvious, it will be after I state this. You'll get it in an instant. See, direct sales is a way that you can supplement your income, right? You could sell something, share something with somebody else, and supplement your income by making those sales to friends, family, and people who are interested in those things. So a lot of times, our industry is a great plan B or a supplement to their income. If they lose their job, they can do this business from home. And we try to make that easier than anybody else with our offering because you can't stock sunshine in your garage. You can't stock beach sand and historical artifacts and great locations and smiles and big blue signs and those experiences in your extra bedroom. There's one membership. It's intangible. So it makes ours a very, very compelling offering. But if you look at the sales here, going back to 2011, that was really where we saw the biggest peak in impact globally to the negative forces that economically were affecting the global mindset. And you can see that even in that time, we were a company very, very young, less than 5 years old. We were a 4-year-old company that really only launched at the end of 2005. So in 2011, we were just beginning to get our feet underneath us. We weren't as sophisticated. We didn't have the systems or the technology. We had a few dozen DreamTrips globally, a few dozen. Then you can see that we had a record year in 2012. 2014, another record year. Almost doubling what we did in 2012, or I'm sorry, 2013. And then in 2015, last year, again, tremendous growth. And of course, in 2014, you've all seen the DSN report that says that we're a top 50 biggest company in the industry of direct sales. So where does that put us for last year, 2015? We're pretty excited. Obviously, looking ahead, 2016's projections right now put us in a place, if we continue to grow at this pace, above the $1 billion mark. What I want you to get from this slide is not that it's just impressive growth, but it's impressively consistent growth, isn't it? It represents the stability of our business. And that comes with the attention that we pay to you, your needs, and our partnership, and our continuous investment in what we know is going to help make this a better and better offering year after year. And that's our job. We believe that in the next 12 months, based on our current growth rate, we would expect to add somewhere in the neighborhood of about 1 million new DreamTrips members. That's a lot of DreamTrippers. And think about each one of those households represents 2.3, 3 to 4 people that are DreamTrippers holding blue signs. That's a lot of blue signs. A lot of happy, smiling faces. Over the last year, we've done a lot. We took Rovia and WorldVentures, and operationally, we merged them. Two entirely separate companies that only shared a limited amount of resources, we took and merged the two operational forces into one. The travel leadership team comprised of everybody who serves the DreamTrips product and everybody who is developing our online travel agency, Rovia's booking engine, and everything that is required to deliver to power DreamTrips. The marketing teams, the technology teams, everybody in customer service at WorldVentures is now working with everybody in customer service at Rovia. And they're all being cross-trained to answer the same questions. In addition to that, we had to merge new technologies and replace old technologies entirely. We replaced the heart of WorldVentures technology. We went away from the old platform and we launched what is something entirely unique in the world. We call it Fortius, which stands for strength in Latin. That's what it means. Fortius is a platform that we developed ourselves based upon a software that we bought and we developed into something that really does cater to our DreamTrips product. What it does essentially is allow us to take all of the things that we do, whether it's selling air, cars, hotels, DreamTrips, or even things out of the DreamTrips marketplace, excursions, anything that we can consider we might want to sell, present, market, and it puts it into a single unified experience. Nobody in the world has this. Think of it like eBay for travel, eBay for experiences, Amazon for services. It doesn't exist. We had to build it because our business is that unique. And we did so and launched its basic skeleton last April in broad daylight. It took us down for about 90 seconds total. That's pretty impressive. I can tell you this, as a guy who started in marketing and technology myself, To see a team pull that off when we were growing, the way that we have been growing, was miraculous. So let's hear it for that technology team. Truly impressive. But, you know, here's the relevance of it. It's not just about doing something we think is going to help us deliver a better product. It's also about creating a platform that we know is scalable into the foreseeable future. Because if we continue to grow at this rate, where does this chart take us in the next 3 to 5 to 10 years? We better have a technology that's going to stand the test of time, one that we know isn't going to break. You don't care about what it is or what it does necessarily, just that it's going to work, right? That you can count on it. So last year, we invested more than $80 million in technology development to support this effort. By way of comparison, remember that 2011 number. It was just north of $80 million total revenue for the year. And 4 years later, that's what we invested in technology to support your success and our bright future. So some of the things we've done too is to launch the Welcome DreamTrips. You guys like Welcome DreamTrips, right? I mean, we just launched them internationally less than 6 months ago, and they've been a huge hit. In fact, they've essentially redefined the way that we want to develop our product. Our product has always been varied and diverse. It's always catered to different likes and different desires from a travel experience perspective. But Welcome DreamTrips allows us to do that at scale, meaning that we can address a huge audience with a very high quality experience and consistently deliver that experience over and over and over and over again. Here's how. It's all about how we develop the relationships with the suppliers, the resort owners, and those that we do business with, and share this concept with them and get them to invest in this relationship. Get them to be excited about catering to our base of fun-loving, freedom-searching for, and fulfillment-seeking members, right? To get excited about that. We should be their favorite customers. The truth is that we are. For a lot of these resorts, we are their best customers. But imagine a day where we send so many people to these resorts, we're seen as the safe haven, the savior of their business. See, when the economy ends up turning again, and it always does, it's always like this, isn't it? Year after year after year, we watch the ebb and the flow of finances globally affect how we do business globally. The value of currency and whether or not we're really worried about having a job or extra savings or the extra time or money or space to do the things we want. But we could be the savior to those industries, to those suppliers. And so these relationships are very meaningful to them too. And the more we show that we are who we say we are, and the more people we send to beaches with our blue signs, the more compelling an argument it is. So as we go forward, you're going to find that Welcome DreamTrips is something you're going to see a lot more of. Right now, it represents roughly half, a little bit more than half of the inventory we have online. Of the 1,300 plus trips we have available right now, many of those, more than half, are essentially Welcome DreamTrips. That's crazy. A year ago, we didn't even have Welcome DreamTrips. We launched them last spring. How amazing is that? To be able to go someplace for $189 to about $300 and take 4 to 5 days at a 4 or 5-star resort with a host, with the bells and whistles, with the pillow gifts, with the experience that we say is a perfect representation of what a dream trip should be for somebody to get engaged and go on vacation in the first 90 days. It's working. See, the entire intent of that strategy was to get more people on vacation, to serve more of you a Dream Trips experience, to get more people to engage the day that they get started. Why? Because we know if you go on a dream trip, you don't quit. More than 8 out of 10 who've been on at least one dream trip are here for life. And that's going back 10 years to the beginning of the company. That's a hell of a statistic. That somebody could have your product one time and it almost guarantees that they will never quit. Why wouldn't we do everything we could to let everybody taste our product? So something else we decided we wanted to do. FastPass 150 is probably the most clear demonstration of this. We want to address what we know is inevitable, that customers are going to want to be a part of this community. Just because the experiences themselves are so rich, so rewarding, they don't care if there's an opportunity. They just want to be a member and go on vacation with you or their family or their friends as well. That's so cool. Because what it means is that the product we sell right now is entirely unique, so valuable that even without an opportunity, it's a no-brainer. It's a very, very special place for us to be in. See, in direct sales, there's always this tug of war between opportunity and your product. And everything we're doing is to demonstrate that we are completely different than the rest of the travel industry. We are not Travelocity, Orbitz, Expedia, Booking.com. We don't want to be that. Fine, go, sell air, car, hotel, whatever. That's not what we do. We put life-changing experiences together. We bring you together. We give you an opportunity to play together, to learn together, to love together, to impact the world together. That's what we do, and we do it better than anyone else. So fine, they'll do what they do. We're going to do what we do because we're getting really good at this. And FastPass was a statement. It was a statement from us to demonstrate our commitment to customer growth. So much so, in fact, that we're willing to give you 50% more credit to go out and acquire customers to be a part of our database of users than we do reps. That's incredible. See, we don't even compensate for reps, but that you are able to be a rep and a customer at the same time. Still, we wanted to make sure that you understood that even if you decide not to be a representative, we're going to credit you 50% more just because you decided to be a customer as the person who brought them in. That's pretty amazing, right? Do you guys like the promotion? We do too. I want to share some exciting news with you. So here's what's happened. The rate of acquisition of customers has skyrocketed since the launch of this promotion. For instance, in the United States, the rate of acquisition of customers right now is 3-to-1 versus reps. For every one rep that comes in, we have 3 customers that don't participate in the opportunity. 3-to-1. Globally, that ratio is greater than 65% non-representative customers only, planet-wide. That's huge. In Australia, that rate of acquisition of customers is north of 90%, customers only. In Asia, it's around 50%. And it varies from country to country, but you get the point. It's working. And the other relevant component of this is that from a regulatory perspective, that has any bearing on any market in the world is important to us. We want to make sure that we're always following a best practices approach. And if a regulator in any country says, look, we want to see that you guys are acquiring customers at a greater rate than you're acquiring reps, it demonstrates that there's value in your product. Okay. Bam! There you go. How's that? 3-to-1. So we're excited about the success, and so we're watching it very closely. And when the promotion is nearing an end, we'll give you guys even more insight into how it's performing and how it's affecting your business. But it's working. And by the way, it's also driving sales to record levels. We're off to the best start we've ever had this month. We closed January with some record growth as well. So this is going to be cool for you. We'd like to make sure that this is even easier for you guys to enjoy. So we're releasing DreamTrips this weekend in 8 different languages. Your DreamTrips site now comes in these lovely tongues. You're welcome. Isn't that cool? No, there's English. We have English too. It's the 8 additional languages, excuse me. Thank you, shush. What about English? So Greek, Hungarian, Romanian, Swedish, Malay, Spanish, and Chinese. It's coming. So we are working, remember about this. Translation is a really a tough problem to solve because machines don't do a good job of translating. You might say that this dream trip comes with automatic upgrades and excursion packages ranging from camelback rides to private chef dinners. And that comes out as sounding like, this crazy trip includes a squirrel ride in the park next to a Fandango zipper. I mean, you never know what's going to come out of machine translations. So it requires human beings. Make sense? And that's a lengthy, laborious process. It takes time. And then once we have the languages, then they go into basically a database, and then we have to configure the website to reference that database instead of this database when you tell us which one to choose. So there's a lot of work that goes into it, and it's very human effort intensive. Does that make sense? So every one of these languages has been translated by human beings, not by robots. That's real humans, not machines. And that's important because then you don't lose the context. I mean, if it's you who's translating one of our dream trips, you're going to tell the story the right way, right? So we're forming a relationship with the best in the world at doing this. And the more they understand who we are and how we tell our story, the better this will be a representation of what our product looks like. So be patient. Hebrew's coming. The other languages that we want to support are coming. And they're all coming to every one of our websites, but one at a time. See, the original strategy was we're going to push all this out at the same time and everybody's going to be happy. And we said, no, piecemeal. We're going to do it one block at a time. If you've got Greek ready, push it. You have Hungarian ready, push it. Romanian, push it. Get it out there. Help them. One page at a time. So we think this is the right way to do it. So not every single website is translated. Air, car, and hotel is still not in all of these other languages unless you use Google Translate. But these are translated for us, by us, in our websites right now. The app will follow soon, and other languages will be loaded as they become available. Got it? Cool. So this is where the future lies. Our digital frontier is the way that we describe it. It's where we're going. It's what we ourselves are pioneering. The world is changing so quickly in technology. So much is happening. If you think just 5, 10 years ago, heck, if you just go back to the beginning of this century, the 2001 time frame, do you guys remember how unique and new and special the internet was? That was just 15 years ago, you know? Think about that. And today, it has disrupted so many industries, and it's happening so fast. We almost take for granted how quickly technology evolves industries, impacts the world. And we want to make sure that we're ahead of that curve. Thank God we have Wayne Nugent as our visionary, because he's always thinking 3 steps, 4 steps ahead about what is going to come. And cornerstone to this concept for us is something we call lovingly the ecosystem. So if you think about Apple as an example, at United, I shared a slide that showed the Apple products and iTunes in the middle. So an ecosystem, as we would describe it, is very much like an ecosystem in the wild. It's the relationship or all of the things in the world and how they are interrelated, right? Whether they are consuming one another or they somehow or another have a symbiotic relationship. That is an ecosystem, how they work together. It's the people, our products, our experiences, and the tools that we provide you. It's the platform of technology and all of the community and the sub-communities within them. And then how they're connected to one another, how they interact. That is our ecosystem. Does that make sense? Okay, good. So it's a hard concept sometimes for people to grasp, but I want you to understand that it can happen by chance or it can happen by design. But we're doing this very clearly, ladies and gentlemen, by design. We're doing this on purpose, with intention. And it's all centered around how our community will leverage our currency, or currencies. And that is DreamTrips points today. So imagine a DreamTrips cloud, a DreamTrips points cloud. And when you refer people to DreamTrips, you earn points and they go into your cloud. When you go out and you dine in our preferred network of dining and entertainment establishments all over the world, you earn points, and those go into your points cloud. When you make your monthly payments towards your membership, they go into your points cloud. When you contribute to the membership in some way, we're going to show you in the future how that's going to help put points into your points cloud that you can use to get on these great experiences. So when we have a community, a platform, a social environment that has all of these things together. Hold on, I'm going to go back a slide. Okay, I'm teasing. When we have a community that pulls all these things together, imagine that you have all of these free members that you will invite, right? So we've got 600, 700, 1,000, 700, 800,000 members, plus the million we add this year. And let's say that it's fall, and we're ready to launch this to the world. And each of you, let's say that only 10% of you invite 2 people that join the free community of DreamTrips social network. 2. So it's 100,000, 200,000 that actually get engaged and invite just 2 people that join. After that happens 6 times, which happens very, very fast in the social world, we're north of 10 million sets of new eyeballs. So with that many people looking at our brand, looking at what we do, sharing our experiences, uploading pictures, seeing the dining experiences and how they can earn points just by building the network themselves for free, how compelling do you believe the offer of the membership is going to be? How many people do you think are going to say, yeah, I want to go on vacation. I want to get my blue sign. Yeah, I want to go and eat at these places and earn extra points to get on my vacation. Yeah, I want to do these things. And maybe I want to participate in the opportunity too. It's a pretty compelling argument. And so all of this being anchored by you as a community and our virtual currency strategy with DreamTrips points is a catalyst. And the smart card that we're developing helps to pull that all together as well. So we're on track right now. I want to briefly outline what the advantages are. You can load every single one of your credit cards onto this card. It's ultra secure with at least 2 forms of validation. One that might be voice print and the other your PIN code. You can sync it to the app automatically and you can swipe to choose the card you want to use. You can monitor your points. You don't need the app. It's waterproof. You can put it in your pocket, put it in your bathing suit, go swimming, go on an excursion, go cave diving, whatever you want. It has Bluetooth. It has NFC. Why is that important? Well, it's important because we want to sync it with your phone, but we also want to provide new technology to the restaurants. See, we see a day where they'll walk in. You'll walk into a restaurant, one of our network, and they'll say, on the podium at the hostess stand, a beep will come up and will say, Eddie Head prefers a window seat, has an allergy to peanuts. He prefers Grey Goose and club soda. And so I walk in, they know who I am. They know my allergies if I want to share those. They know what I prefer to drink. They know whether or not I'm traveling with a companion. All of that is available just like that when I walk in. And if I have a reservation, pop, it comes up. Eddie's here, he's checked in, we have him queued. Mr. Head, your table will be ready momentarily. Here's the other thing. The technology we've built into this is accepted everywhere. It's not just a swipe, it's also pin and chip, which means that whether you're dining here in Asia or in the Americas, it works everywhere. Everywhere where they have credit card acceptance capabilities, it will work. And we see a day where we could even load your room keys for your hotels onto your card. Imagine that. So we have the same sort of relationships that we could establish with hotels. We envision a day where you could walk into the hotel, and just like I explained to you a moment ago, it says, oh, Mr. Head, you've arrived. Let me program your key. Boop. You go, all right. You just walk into your room. You're ready to go. So the card is important. The card is important for another reason. It's not just about flash or security or convenience. It's also about how that attracts customers to you, to us, because you can't buy it anywhere else. And nobody else has this. There are other companies that want to do something like this. We lead the pack in technology. The investment we made into our partnership with NextID was very purposeful because they combine some of the best security technology and the best credit card technology into one. And we're developing a platform for new technology that ties right into your app that allows you to monitor your points, allows you to use your points. And guess what? We're going to show you how you can use your points too when you go out and dine. Stay tuned. Do you guys know what this is? What is that? This is an icon you probably see all the time and you don't recognize it when it's that big. But when you make it this big, introducing DreamTrips Messenger. As of this weekend, we have now pushed to both Google Play and the iTunes App Store the newest version of DreamTrips. It's not available today. It's already in the queue, which means it'll be available in a few days. And we don't know till they tell us it's ready. But in the next few days, we'll get the notification, and through social media, we'll tell you the moment that you can download it. Stay tuned. On your app, it should say a download is available. So how does this work? Why is this important? Here's why. So if you look there on the top left, let me back up so you can see this. Okay, so look, watch this. That's where it is. Top right-hand corner. See the icon? Now it looks familiar. Okay, chat. It means message or chat. So now you'll have a new icon on your main screen. And if you click on that, you'll have all of your messages just like you do in Facebook or any other messenger application, except it's baked right in to our DreamTrips app. You can do an assortment of things. You can create group chats, or you can have individual chats. You can add a chat directly from a user profile. Let's say that somebody is creeping on you. If they want to chat with you, they can add you to a chat. Now, you can just as easily excuse yourself from the chat. All the security settings are entirely up to you. If you don't want to be a part of a group chat, it's very easy, very intuitive for you to go, nope, I'm going to opt out. Don't want to be a part of the chat. It's just too many conversations at once. It's annoying. Or maybe you do. But you can include groups of your leaders, groups of your family, groups of your friends. Anybody that is a part of the DreamTrips community can be a part of your group, provided you have a relationship with them. Pretty cool, huh? So group chat works a lot like other group chats, except that ours is very robust. See, we want to make sure that we have a group chat function that allows us to address an audience of hundreds at a time. No messenger application allows you to do that. So if you're on a dream trip and you have hundreds of people on a dream trip or 1,000 people on a dream trip, wouldn't it be great to be able to have a group that chats within that dream trip community? Not that this is going to change the way that we actually enjoy our product. It's going to create a new social dynamic that has never existed before. We will be the first to do it. See, the minute that you are enrolled in a dream trip, your name is automatically added to an automatic group for that dream trip. So if you're going to the Mallorca trip, you've got a dream trip there. You have a group that's going to that in a chat. So you can start talking to one another. Hey, let's go and do this. Let's go on the horseback riding tour. Let's go on the shopping tour. Let's do the private chef's tasting together. It's going to make social the entire experience of planning the trip. Now you're going to meet the people before you go on the trip, and you can chat with them, have conversations with them. You can invite other people to the conversation if you want that aren't a part of the trip, in fact, to show them how many people are going and how exciting the DreamTrips experience is going to be. It's going to change the entire dynamic of planning and preparing for a trip. I'm excited to see how this affects things. And of course, if you're going to have a messenger app, you have to have the right notifications. So we have baked into it notifications directly to your home screen. You will now see these pop up, and it says, hey, so-and-so just sent you a message through DreamTrips app. You see that it also works within the app as well. Very, very simple, very intuitive. You can do it individually or with a group. Automatic DreamTrips groups are put in place, and the coordinators for the DreamTrips will be added automatically when they are assigned. So you'll see who is actually working to support that trip in the chat. Amazing. Push notifications directly to your home screen and in the app as well. So we think that that's going to be a game changer. So I talked to you about our ecosystem. I wanted to share this slide with you so you could take a picture of it. At the center of this, you should think of the DreamTrips points as the thing that ties it all together. Because whether you're going on DreamTrips and using them, or you're dining and earning them, you're using the card to track them. Anywhere that you're in our network and communicating with one another socially, the content itself that's being created by people that's helping them earn points, earning points through referring, earning points through reviewing, through sharing, and all of the activities that we support, it's all part of the stickiest social network we believe the world has ever seen. And of course, because it is by invitation only, it means that your financial future with respect to the way you grow your business is secure. It means we can trace every single relationship back to its origins. So if you invite someone who invites 10 someones and 1,000 someones later, this girl becomes a member, we trace that relationship all the way back to the first upline rep, and if that's you, you get paid. So it doesn't matter how big it grows. Imagine how many of these millions of people, potentially, could end up buying something or doing something within our ecosystem that generates a commission. Wouldn't it be great to just all of a sudden get a notification that you have a new member in a country you didn't even know? Yeah. Oh, wow. All right. Cool. I got paid. All of this should give you some confidence that you have an advantage over the rest of the world. Why is now the best time? Because you know. You have the inside scoop. You have the inside track. You're here at the greatest growth period in our history. You saw where we're going. We've shared with you the story. You have first mover advantage. What you do with it now is up to you. But I would say that every second that ticks by, every minute, every day, is another one towards your bright future or a lost opportunity. And if the economy is good, we're also good, aren't we? People get excited about spending their time and money on vacations and doing things in leisure. But if the economy is great, or bad, excuse me, that makes us great. So if things get tough, we should be able to address that because our product allows people to enjoy a lifestyle they didn't think they could afford. Remember, loyalty allows them to take the points and money that they're spending and apply it to DreamTrips if they choose to travel, right? We do it less expensively with greater value and better experiences than anyone anywhere in the world ever has before. We're the leader. And the opportunity, of course, is even more compelling, too, when it comes to supplementing one's income than almost any other direct sales company as we see it. We told that story, too. You can't get qualified for any of our ranks by stocking sunshine in your garage. So if the economy's good, we're good. But if the economy's bad, we're great. So now is indeed the very best time to be a part of this. We're going to innovate this year. We've shown you how. And we're going to redefine how our industry looks at what travel looks like, how social behaves, how a social network can actually contribute to the value of that organization, and how you can be rewarded for your contribution. And we're definitely going to disrupt. Thank you, guys.